Welcome back, guys. We are back into Glenumbra and we're doing this quest for this guy. We could trade. Need to find Guy LeBlanc. There he is.
I should never have suggested fleeing to Aldcroft. Brilliant idea, LeBlanc. Now they're gone. All the women in our group, kidnapped by cultists and dragged off into the fen.
Are you Guy LeBlanc? I was sent to look for you.
Yes, we should have stayed in Camlorn. At least my sister would still be with me. We thought we'd go to Aldcroft, but ran into trouble here in the fens before we got there. Bloodthorn cultists swarmed in and grabbed all the women and took them away.
Why just the women?
I heard them say something about a hag coven in the North Fens. My sister Bethany was fighting them as they dragged her off. I don't know what to do. I feel useless. I'm not used to this sort of life. I sent the others to the Weiris camp nearby.
I have some questions.
I'll do my best to answer, friend. It's our good luck you happened by when you did.
Why didn't you ask the Lion Guard for help?
The Lion Guard? They can't even defend Camlorn. That must sound bitter. Well, you're talking to someone who lost everything. We had nice homes, shops, comfortable lives. Now look at us.
What do you know of the Weirises?
The Weirises are witches of a sort, devoted to nature and the Weird Tree. They helped us after the attack, and said we could stay at their camp until we were ready to move on. It's nearby, to the southeast. What remains of my group is there now.
What else can you tell me about this area?
Not much. It's big and it smells. Bloodthorn cultists roam the southern fen, and hags prowl the north. I wish I had stayed in Camlorn. I thought we'd be safer out here, but look what happened. I hope Bethany's all right.
Get to safety. I'll see if I can find your sister or any of the others.
Cultists? Bogs? Bugs as big as my head? Why, oh why did I ever leave the city?
Can I ask some questions?
I'll do my best to answer, friend. It's our good luck you happened
Oh, I
by
asked
when you
already,
did.
right? I don't know the
The
Weiris.
Weirises are witches of a sort, devoted to nature and the Weird Tree. They helped us after the attack, and said we could stay at their camp until we were ready to move on. It's near... Not much. It's big and it smells. Bloodthorn cultists roam the southern fen, and hags prowl the north. I wish I had stayed in Camlorn. I thought...
Okay. That's his sister.
A stranger who isn't dressed as a bloodthorn? I don't know what you're doing out here, but you're a sight for sore eyes. Now hurry up and cut me loose.
You're one of the women from Camlon?
No, I'm the queen of the Nords. Of course I'm from Camlorn. Did my brother Guy send you? I gave the cultists a hard time, so they tied me up. They took the other women away, though. I think they traded them to the bog hags.
Why did they trade the women? Okay, it's pronounced Guy. Okay, not gay. Or guy. Okay, Guy.
The Bloodthorns have an arrangement with the hags. Something about exchanging us for their help against the weird. They even have a contract. I saw them arguing over it earlier. It should be around here somewhere.
Look for the contract.
Please try to find my companions. These cultists are insane. But the hags... who knows what they're capable of. I'll go find my brother. The poor sod is useless without me.
I'll find them now. Get to safety.
From the side!
Blood-sealed contract. I need to kill him now. Before the sight of Moloch Baal, we sealed this bargain between the Bloodthorn and the Hagfen Coven with fresh blood. In exchange for any undamaged women we capture in the conquest of Glenumbra, Mother Mirk and her coven will oppose the Beldama Weird and keep them occupied. My servant shall deliver the women to the ruined tower in the bog, where they will be transformed and brought into the coven. Should either party break this bargain, their lives will be forfeit. Angoff the Gravesinger. And there is a lore book here we can read as well. The Illusion of Death. I think it'll be safer to just read the lore book somewhere else. It's called Hackfen. Okay, it's probably. Oh, there is a. Adra and Daedra. Okay, it's different, but I'll read this one anyways. Adra and Daedra. The designations of gods, demons, Adra and Daedra are universally confusing to the layman. They are often used interchangeably. Adra and Daedra are not relative terms. They're elvish and exact. Azura is a Daedra both in Skyrim and Morrowind. Adra is usually translated as ancestor, which is as close as Cyrodiilic and can come to this elven concept. Daedra means roughly, not our ancestors. This distinction was crucial to the Dunmer, whose fundamental split in ideology is represented in their mythical genealogy. Aether associated with stasis, Daedra represent change. Aether created the mortal world and are bound to the earthbones. Daedra who cannot create have the power to change. As part of the divine contract of creation, the Aedra can be killed. Witness Lorcan and the Moons. The Protean Daedra for whom the rules do not apply can only be banished. Aedra can be killed. I see. It's the divine contract of creation. So, okay, let's read the Illusion of Death. There it is. The Illusion of Death, it's a fragment. Then because he had toyed with the ape maiden Dulsa, and did Maruk spend his century of penance upon the stone meadows, and his side was seared, and his tongue was swollen, and his pelt was mottled, and his left thumb pointed over at the stars of the tower, and ever did the shade of Al-Esh speak to him. Serrated words that rasped his concept organ and brought him to wisdom though affliction. And he recorded her words in his simian gore with glyphs on the beseeching scarp, and the fire in his blood did etch the lithic face with the 77 inflexible doctrines. And though the lever depleted, yea, even consumed, his very substance, he stinted not, for he knew that death is an illusion, for did not Al-Esh persist, speaking knives through dead? And had not Pelin-Al been witness to her death, although dead himself at the death of Umar-Il? Then did Maruk know her right, reaching that one devoted to proper life and elnofic annulment shall persist beyond the illusion of death, for indeed the drive to expunge corruption can conquer even the arcane cycle. I don't know what this excerpt is from. Maruk is the Imga prophet from Cyrodiil, and Pelin-Al is also from Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, Cyrodiil, and also Umaril, the Unfeathered. Now look, they captured.
Let's get out of here.
Talk to Guy in the weird enclave. Sorry. Then talk to the others as well. They're
I feel like I'll never be safe again. Fleeing the horrors of Camlorn, then taken in the night by cultist thugs? When will it all end?
Without your help, who knows what would have happened to us. But what about next time? You can't just follow us around and keep us safe, you know?
Where is Emily?
We'll help any refugees that make their way here.
Bethany LeBlanc.
Thank you so much for helping me. You really are the hero they say you are.
Well done. When we get back to town, I'll raise a tankard in your name.
Yeah. Talk to Guy LeBlanc.
My sister and the other women made it here.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's a bit rattled and tired, but otherwise they don't seem hurt.
I'm glad everyone's safe.
Thank you. Weirus Emily says a hag named Mother Merc was likely behind the abduction of the women. I wish we could stop her before she tries this again. All this danger and adventure. We're so not cut out for this.
LeBlanc's walking shoes. Guy LeBlanc, sorry, awarded this light footwear for saving his sister and the other women from the Bloodthorn cultists in Hackfen. Okay.
Mother Merc leads a coven of hags. That's what the Weirises told me. The coven hunts women to convert into hags or thralls. The Weirises told me about the Reach woman Sibelic. She knows how to deal with Mother Merc.
Where can I find Sibelic?
She's staying with the Weirises at the Northern Enclave. Meeting you was a bright spot in this otherwise dark adventure. If you can stop Mother Merc, that'll be one less thing for us to worry about.
I'll talk to Sibelic.
You can find Sibelic in the Northern Weird Camp. Just follow the road across the bridges.
Yeah, I have more questions.
I'll answer what I can. Too bad you aren't asking about a nice place to eat in Camlorn. That I know. History of this bog and information about hags? I only know what the Weirises told me.
Tell me more about Mother Merc.
They say she's got a taste for flesh. Thinks the bog belongs to her and the hags. The Weirises have been fighting with her for generations.
Tell me about Sibelic.
Sibelic is a Reach witch staying with the Weirises. Weirus Emily says she can look right into you and say things about your past and future. The Weirises say she isn't evil, but I'd still be careful.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for freeing me and the others. I shudder to think what might have happened to us if not for your timely intervention.
I'm glad you are back, because I wanted to thank you. Really, I did.
Those horrible vines, they torture the land.
Yeah, it's by Angoff. Yeah. Mercenary. Gold for teeth. Wait. This orc hasn't been dead for very long. There are signs of a struggle. The dead orc clutches some sort of broadsheet and a handful of large, sharp crocodile teeth. I should take the broadsheet and the teeth. And gold for teeth. Cull the crocodiles in Hackfen. Help make the fens safe for travel. Earn gold for killing the 2D beasts lurking in the shallow waters of Hackfen. Gold for crocodile. Then deliver proof of your crocodile killing prowess to Hoster Marcel, Huntmaster, who will be camped near the Dunarth ruins? Dunarth, I guess. Fredus, next teeth extracted from any other creatures are not accepted, and we're proffering them, I think it's a typo, may result in a sound beating. Note that the Huntmaster is not responsible for any limbs you may lose as you attempt to fulfill this offer. Okay, we need to kill some crocodile teeth. We have 5 already from this guy's corpse. Okay, let's kill some crocodiles and get this done. Yeah, Dwayne Arthur wins. Yeah, where is it? No, it's in the north. I see. It's there. Okay. Let's do the Hackfen quest first, and then we can go there, I guess. Sibelek the Old.
So you've come to the bog at last. I've waited for your arrival. It was written on the stones and in the sky.
You knew I was coming?
Fate has led you here, just as I have foreseen it. You wish to resolve the conflict between the Weird and the Coven. Mother Merc's anger and darkness run deep, even for a Hagraven. She's powerful, and leads the Coven through fear and pain.
How do I stop Mother Merc?
You'll need this charm to defeat her, for she can siphon vitality from even the strongest foe. Kill the lesser hags and drain their power into this charm.
Okay.
But use the charm only when Merc tries to siphon your life force. Don't waste its power.
I'll defeat Mother Merc.
You can find the hags to the west. Just protect that charm. It is your best defense against Mother Merc.
Can I ask you some questions?
Ask. I will answer what I can.
Why is
Probably.
Mother Merc your enemy?
Mother Merc opposes the Weirises. She's your enemy, not mine. I can see how her darkness twists and harms the world around her, though. Such terrible things she does.
I don't
The
understand.
struggle between Weird and Hag is as old as the swamp itself. Both sides have sought my help, but this is not my battle. You, however, have picked a side. I help you and indirectly become involved, just as it should be.
What are you exactly?
I am called by many names. Mire Witch, Old Bog Crone, the Swamp Seer. You may simply call me Sibelic.
Are you a Weirus?
No, I come from the Reach, just like Mother Merc and Angolf.
Yeah.
Not everyone who comes from the Reach seeks to do evil. The
course.
Weird are hospitable, so I reside with them. Yet I don't begrudge Mother Merc her wickedness. It was her path to choose.
So everyone is from the Reach. The main villain of this zone, Mother Merc, this villain as well, this boss, and she as well who's helping us. How will the charm help me against Mother Merc?
Mother Merc uses dark magic. She will drain your life to restore her own vitality. The charm, once empowered, will reflect her magic back upon her. But you must use it at the correct time or it won't be of much help.
Go back to charm, there you go. Could be another hag here somewhere. There she is. You go back to charm. One more. Find and kill Mother Merc. And there she is, and there's a book as well. I might just... Okay, let's go and kill Mother Merc. Because why not? There's a lot of imps here, for some reason. Another mark. I use this when she channels, right?
Feast on your life essence.
No, you won't.
Dare you turn my own magic against me?
Yep. You're stunned. Ah. Die. Mother mark. She does look disgusting. Ah. What's that? It's like poison or something coming out of her body. It's so disgusting. There's a book here. Guess it's inside. Yeah. Jorun the Skull King. That's a long fucking book. Jorun the Skull King, born in by Helgrir Ludvois, Bard of Windhelm, born in Second Era 546 to Queen Mabjarn Flamehair, or Mabjarn Flamehair. Prince Jorun grew up knowing that his elder sister, Nornhilde, was fated to take the throne. A singer of rare talent in a culture that reveres the power of the human voice, Jorun studied at Skull's Retreat on the Isle of Gold outside Riften. There he learned all that he taught by the most renowned bards of the Eastern Kingdom. He was dubbed the Skald Prince of Skyrim. Jorun spent most of his youth in artistic and philosophical pursuits, cultivating a broad array of artists, artisans, and performers throughout Eastern Skyrim and beyond. He spent time in Mournhold, Stormhold, Sulch, Elinir, and it's even reputed to have visited Solitude, the capital of Western Skyrim in disguise. Though he claimed to have no interest in politics or the business of rule, his natural leadership qualities made him the unofficial leader of the creative community wherever he found himself, though he received little formal schooling in the arts of arms and warfare, as little as the prince of the Nords would manage anyway. Traveling across Tamriel was always a dangerous activity. His travels taught him less orthodox ways of dealing with trouble. His travels, sorry. Jorun was in Riften when the cavalry of Dir Kamal assaulted the northeast coast of Skyrim in Second Era 572. Jorun was his closest comrades, the pack of bards, fought their way up at the coast to Windhelm, arriving just in time to see its gates breached by the cavalry. Jorun hurled himself into the fray, street fighting being something he had experience with, but was unable to prevent the fall of the city and the slaying of Queen Mabjarn and Nurnhilde, the Brief Queen, who both went down fighting. Wounded and devastated, Jorun barely escaped the sack of Windhelm alive, feeling for the first time the responsibility of his royal birth. He decided to appeal to the Greybeards for aid and so made his way, stealthily but quickly, to High Hrothgar. For reasons that have not been divulged, the Greybeard decided to teach the Skull Prince a tomb, one that summons a hero from Sovngarde to fight for the tongue who uses it, but in Jorun's voice the tomb became a royal call of valor. And the summoned hero was none other than Wulfhart the Ash King. Ooh. Yeah, you get this shout in Skyrim after you defeat Ulduin. You can summon a hero from Sovngarde. Together, Wulfhart and Jorun, now claiming the title Skull King, rallied the Nords of Eastern Skyrim, mustering an army from the Rift and the outer regions of Eastmarch, then fortifying Riften. Dir Kamal, moving south from Windhelm, found Riften defended by angry Nords, inspired by the presence of Wulfhart and eager to fight. So Dir Kamal bypassed Riften and marched on Mournhold, the cavalry leader assuming that the Nords would be glad to see him go. That choice was a fatal mistake. Jorun and Wulfhart led their army in pursuit of the cavalry force, and the Nord army entered Morrowind for the first time since the Battle of Red Mountain. The cavalry army was caught at Stonefalls between the Nords and the Dunmer Legion led by Almalexia. But the outcome of the great battle hung in the balance, until a surprise intervention from a phalanx of Argonian shellbacks, led by a trio of reptilian battle mages. The cavalry line was broken and they were driven into the sea, where they drowned by the thousands. The Ash King, his purpose fulfilled. Returned to Sovngarde in Windhelm. 3 weeks later, Euron was crowned High King in the throne room of the Palace of the Kings. Okay, so what I see is during the Akavari War, the Nords did fight alongside Dunma, and the Argonians also helped them. Alright, it was very nice. That's how the Evanhard Pact came into play, I guess. I'll turn back this quest, and then I'll go back to the other way shrine. Oh, there's Mighty Modra outside Spindle Clutch.
Off to adventure in this cave full of bloodthirsty spiders, are you? Awful brave of you, Faith.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. To the North Ruins. Hoster Marcel.
Huh? What do you want with this old hunt master?
I'm here to claim the bounty on the crocodiles.
Are you now? You're the first one today who still has all his arms and legs. Ah, these are pretty. Pretty disgusting. Here, take your gold.
Wait a minute. We didn't read the description of the crocodile teeth. Oh, this large, sharp teeth obviously came from a hackfen crocodile. Alright. There we go. Now we go back and turn back the other quest. Sibelek the Old.
You have returned, and you are victorious, just as I have foreseen it.
I defeated Mother Merc.
I sensed her departure. The shadows cast by her destructive anger will fade from these fens in time. Perhaps she will find peace in whatever lies beyond this plane. You did well, I think.
It sounds like you feel sorry for Mother Merc.
She was a dark and dangerous creature, to be sure. I do not mourn her, but I wish her to be at peace. Mother Merc's influence on the hags was strong. With her gone, the balance of the fens will change.
I hope this puts an end to the danger of facing the refugees.
Indeed, with Mother Merc gone, the hags will wither and the weird will prosper. You, however, have somewhere else to be. I see a long road ahead of you, traveler. Tread carefully.
Mother Merc's corrupted spring of the weird tree. For defeating the Hagriff and Mother Merc in the Hagfens, the gnarled staff was awarded. Gnarled. Okay. Okay, there you go. It's over.
I think that so-called witch of the moors puts on airs.
Okay. Now we can go back to Glenumbra Moors. Yes, proven. Go. Oh, forgot about that. Alright, on it. Boethius proving the following account is true may serve as a warning to those with ears to hear and hearts to know. On a certain day at a certain time, the faithful gathered to perform certain rituals, hoping to gain a glimpse of their master. The day was correct, the summoning true. Slashing a smoking tear through the veil, she, her very self, appeared before them, terrible and resplendent. She came arrayed in ebony, darker than a moonless night, wielding a blade burning hotter than the surface of the sun. And though she wore the guise of a Dunmer warrior queen, she towered above them like a statue carved from the Red Mountain itself. Why have you disturbed me? Surprised, the first among them prayed, O Boeotia, prince of plots, deceiver of nations, queen of shadows, goddess of destruction, we come to worship thee. It's actually pretty big. She looked down upon her followers gathered to bear witness. Frowning, she asked the first, Tell me, you, who profess to know me, how shall I know you? Afeared, he exclaimed, Each night I pray to thee, each night I call out my thy wondrous names. Surely you must recognize the sound of my voice. Uh, Thy most devoted of believers. She frowned and let out a long sigh, and then of a sudden, he was gone, the air from her lungs dispersing him. Turning to the second, she asked, "And you, how shall I measure the worth of your existence?" Stunned by the power of her voice, he bowed before her darkening visage. She clapped her hands, and he too was gone. So Boethi is killing everyone who are submitting to her, basically. To the third, "And you, tell me, how shall I know you are apart from such as were they, of whom there is no trace?" Shaken and speechless from the nullifications of his brethren, he whispered, "Have mercy upon us." She blinked twice. Once he was in agony, twice he was destroyed. She cast a withering glance across those remaining and said, "I do not grant mercy." And so it was with the others, she putting them to proof, they offering none. Finally she came to me, eyes aglow with anger, tongue wet with hate, and said, "Of all my believers, but two remain. Tell me, second to last, with what shall you prove your existence?" Without hesitation, I drew forth my blade and buried it in the chest of the other two, who stood beside me, and without fear replied, "Ask him those whose blood now sprouts from my blade if I exist." She smiled, and the gates of oblivion opened between her teeth. Then she said, "Tell me now, last of my followers, wherefore do you remain where the others do not?" I retrieved my blade and offered it up, saying, "I am alive because that one is dead. I exist because I have the will to do so, and I shall remain as long as there are signs of my handwork, such as the blade dripping from this blade." Accepting my gift, she nodded and said, "Indeed, if in the reading your blood boils in your veins and your mind blazons with fire, then Boeotia calls you. It is then most wise to heed her call." There's a dolmen happening, that's why there's so much sound. Glenumbra moves. Conjurer Grala. Megalisterone.
These lost spirits refuse to rest. They just wander about, lost in the dream of battle. The Alessian Order had the wrong intentions, but I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Conjurer Grala.
A messenger? From Aldcroft, by any chance? What news from there? We heard reports that Camlorn refugees had inundated the town.
Werewolves tried to take over the town, but they didn't succeed.
That's good. Losing Camlorn was bad enough. Meanwhile, we've made significant progress here. Our research is finally beginning to yield results.
Alright.
The ghosts of the Alessian army still haunt this place. It's been an age since the Battle of Glenumbra Moors raged here, yet the spirits linger.
What are you looking for?
Falchu, the beast that ravages Camlorn. He fought and died here. We want to know what happened all those years ago. Then we can kill him again.
How do you find out what happened so long ago?
Sarvith, our master of incunabula, hopes to evoke a vision that shows us the events surrounding Falchu's death. We're collecting the most powerful historic artifacts to use as focus objects. The spirits are making the task difficult, however.
I'll help if I can.
The generals of the Alessian army played a vital part in the Battle of the Glenumbra Moors. Their weapons, if still intact, would suffice, I think. If you manage to get your hands on the weapons, find Sarvith. He knows what to do from now.
Why is it important to find out how Falchu died?
Falchu wasn't called the Invincible General for nothing. You can cut him, bash him, fill him full of arrows. He just keeps coming. We must discover how they stopped him and ended this ancient war.
What can you tell me about the Battle of Glenumbra Moors?
I could tell you the basic story, but if you want a deeper understanding, you need to ask our lore master, Dalina. She's up on the tower observing the movement of the spirits.
Agrun here claims that the threat Falchu poses has been greatly exaggerated. Poor fool wouldn't know a moth from a mammoth.
Pay no attention to my little friend here. He has a weakness for tall tales. The taller, the better, I'm afraid. It's all rubbish, of course.
My brother was almost killed by one of Falchu's werewolves. I couldn't bear losing him, and I don't want anyone else to suffer such pain. That's why I'm here. We'll find a way to stop Falchu. Just look at those lost souls. What drives them? Why do they fight on?
Can I ask you about the war?
Of course. What would you like to know?
What actually happened here?
This is where Clan Dureni fought to defend High Rock against the invading Alessian order. The Alessians outnumbered them 3-1, but this was Dureni land, and the clan prevailed.
Tell me about the Lycian Order.
The Alessians were a fundamentalist sect that wanted to purge elven influence from Tamriel's religions. We think Falchu was one of their generals. They called him the Changeling and the Invincible One.
Falchun sounds fearsome.
Nothing could stop Falchu. The soldiers he bit became werewolves and turned against their own. This land should have fallen to his lycanthropic plague. But someone or something killed him that day.
You know who killed him?
Legends tell us that the Nameless Soldier killed Falchu. It's said the Nameless Soldier prevailed by making a great sacrifice.
Tell me about the Dureni
The
forces.
Dureni settled in High Rock long ago. They were ancient high elves who stood with the local Bretons against the Alessian invaders.
So the one who saw Falchu was Dureni?
Seems likely. We don't know how the Nameless Soldier defeated Falchu yet, but we're determined to figure it out.
This site was the breaking point of the Battle of Glenumbra Moors. The Alessian army made one of their last stands here. The Dureni army was able to defeat Falchu and prevail. We need to figure out how.
Collect the blades of the Elysian generals, okay?
No Dureni shall get past these gates. Do you understand me?
Okay. General Lord, okay. Blade of Lauren, a tarnished and ancient blade of an Elysian general.
They think they have an advantage, do they? Just wait until their plan crumbles around them. Burn it! Strife and discord in these mortal realms.
Ancient blade. Blade of Alaric, a tarnished and ancient blade of an Alessian general.
Make sure these orders circulate among the troops. They need to be prepared for what's to come.
It's true. Falchu is tall as a tree, with claws like great swords.
Yes, yes, and he breathed fire and ate warriors, armor and all. I've heard it all before.
Bagaroon here claims that the threat Falchu poses has been greatly exaggerated. Poor fool wouldn't know a moth from a mammoth.
Grala asked me to bring you these things.
Ah, the focus objects. These would do very nicely. Let me just, I don't think that was supposed to come off. Well, these swords are pretty beat up. I'm sure we'll still have plenty of material for the ritual, though.
What do you hope to accomplish?
If all goes well, we'll be able to peer into the past. Hopefully see what happened to Falchu. Find out how the Durenis were able to defeat the Alessians so long ago. And if something goes wrong, well, then we shall see what we shall see.
I'd like to observe the ritual.
Of course. We'll be using the amalgamated essence of the past, focused with these ancient weapons, to open a sort of window into history. Follow me. Now we may finally learn how Falchu was defeated.
And maybe we'll find out how tall the Horker really was.
Listen to me. You must listen.
I'll finish this video here. I need to go right now anyway, so see you guys later and we'll see what happens, because I think both of them are injured for some reason and they tried to catch a vision from the old generals, but we'll see what happens. See you guys soon.